please introduce yourself to the court?
Yeah, my name's Patrick Lawrence.
How are you involved in today's case?
I was a man who served Mr. Dawson and his friends on the night that he had that accident.
Where did you serve the defendant?
Chuggy's, it's a bar here in Midlands.
What time did you arrive at Chuggy's the day the defendant was there?
I got to the bar that day pretty early in the afternoon. Got there at about 2 o'clock. I was training, so it was my first day. I had to learn what to do, which is why I was there so early in the afternoon.
Was the defendant there?
Yeah, he was there.
What was the defendant doing?
He was drinking with the bartender. He was sitting at the bar. He was complaining a lot. I guess he had a bad interview that didn't go so well or something like that.
You said the defendant was drinking. I want to keep track of just how many drinks the defendant had over the course of the night, so I'm just going to keep a tally.
All right.
Now, how many drinks did the defendant have when you got there?
When I first got there at 2 o'clock, and between then and when I started my shift at about 7, Mr. Dawson had a total of 6 drinks.
I'm going to tally up 6 drinks. Mr. Lawrence, after those 6 drinks, how was the defendant acting?
He was acting pretty drunk at that point. He was stumbling around. He was slurring his words. He even actually walked up to me and spilled one of his drinks all over me. Ruined my shirt. Mr. Dawson, he was having trouble standing up.
What did you do after the defendant spilled his drink on your shirt?
I just went and changed my shirt, and then I had to go start my shift. My shift started at 7, so I had to be quick about it.
Did you serve the defendant after your shift started?
Yeah, yes, I did. Mr. Dawson and his 2 friends were one of my customers.
How many drinks did the defendant order?
After that, they just ordered a whiskey on the rocks, which is just whiskey over ice in a glass.
I'm going to tally up the whiskey. Did the defendant order anything else?
Yeah, at that point, they switched to sodas and tea. I think that they were trying to sober up or something. They'd had a lot.
You said the group was trying to sober up. Did they have a designated driver?
Yeah, they did. I asked them who was going to be the designated driver because that person gets free sodas and tea. Mr. Dawson was the one who raised his hand. I thought it was a joke at first because he was already pretty drunk. I didn't think there was going to be any way that he was going to be able to drive home, but I guess he really was the designated driver because his 2 friends didn't say anything.
Well, Mr. Lawrence, after you found out the defendant was the designated driver, did you continue to serve him alcohol?
Yes, sir, I did.
Why did you do that?
Well, because he ordered more alcohol.
How many more drinks did the defendant have?
Throughout the rest of the night, he had 4 more drinks. He had another shot, whiskey and ginger, tequila sunrise, and another shot.
I'm going to tally up 4 more drinks. Mr. Lawrence, how many drinks does that bring us to?
That's 11 drinks.
I want to talk about the drinks the defendant had closer to the time he left. What time did he have that tequila sunrise?
He ordered the tequila sunrise after midnight. He said that he didn't want the night to end, and then ordered a tequila sunrise, which is just orange juice mixed with tequila.
What time did he have that last shot?
The last shot was right before they drove away at about 12:40. The band that was playing wanted to have a shot with the people that were left, and Mr. Dawson and his friends joined in for that shot.
Mr. Lawrence, I have to ask you, after the defendant had 11 drinks that night, why did you let him drive?
Sir, I didn't let him drive. There were a lot of people there at the end of the night, and I gave everybody their shots. I took the glasses back to the bar, and when I turned around, Mr. Dawson and his 2 friends were gone. I ran out in the parking lot to try and stop him because I knew that he shouldn't be driving. But by the time that I got out there, he was already pulling out of the parking lot.
Pass the witness.
Your Honor.
Yeah.
Oh, we also have the demonstrative being moved there for, so I can move around the, well. Good evening, my name is Ben Wynn, and I'll be prosecuting today. September 24th was the first night that you worked at Chuggy's, isn't that right?
It was the first night that I was gonna be working at the bar, yes, sir.
And never before, have you ever worked at a bar before, is that correct?
No, that was gonna be my first time waiting at a bar.
And in fact, that night was actually the first night you actually started your training, isn't that correct?
I started my training that afternoon.